Hey friends, welcome to JB's Man Cave, and today we are going to be looking at a town called Prince's Town. Not Princess Town, as a lot of people say. Prince's, as in prince, but plural, Prince's Town. It's a place in the southern part of Trinidad. You're looking at it right now. I made this video just a few days ago. Couple days ago actually. It has a Charlotte Street, that's where we're starting out, and this is the main road that goes into Prince's Town proper, because all of this is Prince's Town. It has some unique designs and architecture in its buildings, and certain things just seemingly stand out. Now I'm using a wide angle camera and I'm high above everybody else, and I'm recording at 5.3K resolution, which is higher than 4K, but I believe YouTube reduces it to 4K. So I am not part of that credit union, but they are getting some free advertising right now. Now this is just where we're starting out. And when I came out, I forgot something in my truck, so my sons were with me this day, and I asked them to hold this extension rod while I ran back to the truck to get whatever I needed. But while I'm doing that, let's look at where we are now, and the camera is facing in that direction, and we are going along this road here. This would be the road that we're taking, and where you see the circle, that's all the major spots where we will be going to. Now I can only stay on the main road itself because, you know, of course there are a lot of offshoot roads, but I'm walking in this video, I'm not driving, and it's quite exhausting because, like most places in South, there are up and down areas. It's kind of hilly, it's a sunny day, and you know, I can only do so much. But by the end of this video, if you stay on your watch all and you're not skipping around, you'll find that you'll get the gist of what Prince's Town is about. And don't worry, even though I cover the central part of Prince's Town, I will also go on the side where the fire station and library is, so you can see that area as well. So don't be afraid, you'll get it all so long as the main road, not the offshoot roads. I hardly go there. So right now we would be pointing more or less to the west, or facing the west, but we are down south in Prince's Town. And because we're in December and it's very close to the Christmas day, people are shopping, people are moving around, people are just doing what they love to do, which is, you know, get out there and exchange money for merchandise. Now you can see me coming there. Just now I will wave. Some of you have said, oh, you don't show yourself much on your videotapes, or video camera, or your videos rather. But there you have it. Feel free to donate if you'd like. Help JB's Man Cave move ahead. There's a donation button on my site, jbmancave.com. Don't be afraid, especially in Christmas. It'll be greatly put to use. Now we're gonna walk along the well, there isn't really a pavement or sidewalk on this side, so we'll kind of walk on the side as well as on the road, trying to cover as much as I can. Now you might think, oh, you should be heading towards the main center, but before I do that, I wanted to capture some of these buildings around here. They act like landmarks almost, because there aren't many tall buildings in Prince's Town. So when you do see something tall, it captures your eye right away. There are many religious places, and one of them is the mosque. You can see 2 towers in the background. I'm gonna go there and give you a glimpse of it to start. Thank goodness it was a sunny day. I was hoping it didn't rain because, as you can see in some of my other videos, especially my videos where it's raining and flooding, everything goes grey and it looks bleak. So one of the things that you will see when you come to Princestown is this mosque if you're traveling on the main road. You just can't help but see it because it's very big. While there we heard, I don't know if it's prayers or whatever being said, but it was quite loud. And in case you're wondering why you're not hearing natural songs, well, as you can see, I'm walking right next to vehicles. Some of the engines and the mufflers are very loud. People are blasting music and stuff. Really, it's just going to disable your ability to hear what I am saying, as well as it could be a nuisance because, you know, copyright infringement, somebody playing somebody's song and then it's picked up on YouTube. And just to avoid all of that, I am going to dampen the background sound and just so you can hear my voice and some light Caribbean music in the background just for effect. So now that we have seen the mosque, we're gonna turn around, head back to where we originally started and keep going west, so we could get to the main center, the police station, the other churches around that area, the market, and so forth. Now, one of the hardest things about walking around here is trying to navigate all the people on the road. As you can see, on this side of the road there isn't a set pavement or sidewalk in some places, so you kind of just have to go where you can. There is one on the other side, but I didn't use it that day. That's Charlotte Street. Some of these stores are for furniture, or they may act as haberdasheries or different things, different uses. Some buildings are multi-purpose. You know, it might just be one thing in that building, but a multitude of things. Spaces at premium in these areas, these shopping areas, so people, you know, try to rent part of a building in order to sell whatever they have. You also get a mixture of old and new vehicles. Two of them pretty old there that we're passing. That one right below us is a more modern vehicle. Any of you from Princestown? Feel free to comment in the comments area. Let me know, especially if you've been abroad for a long time and haven't been to Princestown, what you think about what you see now. Is anything recognizable? Something look different, unrecognizable? That's one maxi stand. There's another maxi stand on the other side that we will see. Now, I've come to Princestown when it wasn't Christmas time and it looks just as busy as this, huh? So don't think that, oh, it's just Christmas time, that's why it looks so busy. No, it's busy all the time. And would I say, despite the economic situation that people are buying, yes, they are buying still. I think most people will do what they can and make with what they have, even if they're going to debt for the sake of Christmas time. Now on the right there is sort of like a triangle. That's the Princestown Center. Has a dial in it that I will go up to in a minute. You can see there's a Christmas tree in the center there. Now I also took a 360 video of that, which you'll see in another video. Probably it's already online. I'm currently editing this video. I haven't done the 360 yet, but the 360 is shorter, so I might put that up before this one. That's the dial. And I guess they've been allowed to sell some of the things that they have, different retailers, because normally you don't see these tents here. And yeah, lovely Christmas tree, and yet still you saw somebody sleeping below it. There is a problem with homelessness, although I didn't see too many at this hour, so it was a bit of a surprise to see this man there. And there were a lot of police around, and in case you're wondering, unlike many areas in the world, in Trinidad they tend to not disturb people who may be homeless, or for instance they're sleeping there. While there are laws that govern that, there are also laws about handling those who may be in distress or may have some mental health issues, so it's kind of a conundrum. But anyway, I'm panning around so you can see what it's like in this part of Princestown. And at this height, it allows you to get a good gauge of everything. Again, I also did this in 360, so you can look for it on my YouTube channel. In case you're wondering, people do make comments while I'm recording. They're curious, they want to know what I'm doing or why I'm doing it. But I've tried to make it as inconspicuous as possible. I know that's not always easy, but I have some ways to try and get people to stop, staring down what I am, by placing the camera in such a way that it's not too obvious. That's why you see not too many people looking at me. Now the traffic situation, as you notice, is almost like a standstill. That is again normal for Princestown. When you're coming through here, you can always expect traffic, Christmas season or not. People are busy shopping. Doing whatever business and so forth. Now that's the Princestown police station. It's been modernized and upgraded to what you may know if you haven't been here for a while. Next it is actually the magistrate's court. That's quite handy to have the police station right there, and right next to it is the court, so easy to get people from one place to the next. Don't worry, I will go down our street a bit when I get back to the other side. So really I'm staying on this side and recording the opposite, and when I go on the opposite, I record the other side. So you'll be able to see both sides. Don't worry about it. You can see where all the other maxi taxis, that's those white, little white buses that are white with a black line. In Trinidad and Tobago, they use different colors, those bands around the maxis to state where they are or where they are going. These are some of the variety of colorful plants that we have here in the country. Too bad people don't use more of them. Everything seems to be always taken over by concrete. And you know, cities and towns can do something about that. They can utilize plants to spruce up the place, make it look good and so forth. Now, one of the things to note here that I was relatively happy about is that it is cleaner than Port of Spain. Now, I didn't say it was totally cleaner because it is a little trash here and there, but compared to where I have seen in other places, especially in Port of Spain, it's pretty clean. It's pretty impressed with the drain areas and stuff. They seem to do more maintenance at least than Port of Spain. That's good. Now, it was a horror to get a park when we came down here. I went to about 2 or 3 car park places and I couldn't get one. I ended up parking in Charlotte Street here in Princestown, which has a free parking designated area, which is good, and I happened to get a park right there. This is the cemetery. It's built on a hill that descends below. Maybe you had somebody buried there, I don't know. This church also acts like a huge landmark. Its color has diminished by what looks like moss growing on it, black moss. But when it's painted, it's usually painted this big bright pink color, and it really stands out. I mean, it still stands out anyway, but most of the churches in this area act like the landmarks because they're the tallest things that you see. Now, you could follow this road and go deeper into south, but I am not going to do that. I'm just showing you a bit of it. Just give you a gauge of the area. Like most places in the south and central, the people here are friendly, more welcoming. If you are a constant visitor of JB's Man Cave, you know I always try to big up or praise the people in South and Central for their hospitality, their welcoming attitude, their service. So it was no different, you know, when we came here and on this day when we were video recording. People are generally pleasant, but one thing I did find was they were very concentrated on their whatever they were doing, which is only natural because of the time of the year too. Like everything else in Trinidad and Tobago, there could be more done with infrastructure and different things that can be developed. But over the years, and I mean I have passed through Princestown from an early age because my grandparents lived in Mayaro, and so this was one of the ways to get there. it was either, we were coming from on Port of Spain side, and it was either you came down the highway, or before the highway, the southern main road, and you would cut through Princess Town and head to Mayaro, or the other way was to go to San Grande and cut through Manzanilla to get to Mayaro. So those are the two major ways. In all seriousness, there really does need to have a highway at least to Princess Town. I believe there was some sort of plan, but I don't know, with all the politicking that's going on, if that would ever be realized. That's a nativity scene. Now this is the road that you would normally come through, depending on, but usually you would pass this road on your way to the center of Princess Town, and you would catch a glimpse of the church at that angle. And like most things, there's a mixture of development, nice new buildings, and then some buildings that have just been allowed to decay. Like this was the old MP gas station, but it looks like a relic from the past, right? Weeds growing, just abandoned, everything broken up. Drivers using it sort of a impromptu car park. And I've said this in my other videos, but I think there should be some sort of law that states, you have to maintain your property. In fact, there is, but enforcement of law is not sometimes a priority here. And but I think when it comes to places where there's a lot of public a lot of the public passes through, a lot of traffic and so forth, those places really need to be mandated to take care of themselves. So then people might say, well, you don't take care of the roads, or you don't take care of the sidewalks, so why should I take care of my private properties? But all needs to be taken care of really. This road, if you took it, would take you back to, I shouldn't say back to, it would take you to San Fernando on that side. You could go further down south if you wish. You could get to San Fernando going straight ahead too. It's really your preference, yes, when you're driving. Again, another church, just showing the nativity scene. Now again, Princess Town is a big area, and I could keep walking down these roads, going endlessly, looking at stuff and so forth. But I wanted to concentrate more on the center of Princess Town, and so I'm going to turn around. I do have other videos where I pass through Princess Town, and you can see more of it, for instance, going down that road or going down the next road or whatever. So if that's your interest more than the center of Princess Town, then you can also look up those videos. That sign should give you an idea of where we are in relation to other places. Some of you are really good at giving me feedback on places that I see and what used to be. In other words, I might see a building, but you would see a building that's new because you knew that something else used to be there. And I really appreciate those of you who take the time to say, you know, that building was such and such in history, or it wasn't there before and there used to be a, you know, XYZ there. That kind of information is really great, and I appreciate you all doing that. So if you see any buildings or places that either changed its purpose or has become like a ruin, like that one on the left, feel free to talk about it. Let us know, but also point to the timeline of the video so we know which building you're talking about, because some people will just answer but they will not specify which part of the video they are talking about. So, you know, really we won't have a clue, because we, you know, if you just say, you know, that building such and such, and you don't say the timeline, then we won't know what building you're talking about. Keep in mind, not everybody that watches these videos is from Princestown. A lot of my viewers look at these videos because they're just simply curious about other areas of Trinidad that they, even though they live in Trinidad, have never been. Or even if they have been, they probably just passed through and never looked at it in quite so much detail as what they are seeing here. And definitely not at the angle that I'm giving you here. On the left, that's a supermarket. Now this side road here is sort of a road that allows maxi taxis to park, pick up passengers. There are a lot of designated areas actually for maxis to and regular taxis, cars with an H, to pick up passengers or line up for passengers. And this is one of them. There are also some shopping areas on the left of it. So as I go back, you'll be able to pick up the other side of the road. I have some malls, that mall there, I didn't go inside there. There's quite a few shops, as you can see on the left by the board, what it looks like inside. You can see everybody shopping, bags in their hand, hustle and bustle. At this angle too, I'm able to record over the maxis so that you can get an idea of what the other side of the street looks like. So we're gonna dip into this street here just a bit. Like I said, that's the Princestown Magistrates Court, right? Next it is strange building. That's a bank, one of the local banks, Republic Bank. I don't know why, but this building kind of caught my eye. If anybody knows more about it, you can always tell me in the comments area. I like these old buildings, the old style of architecture and so forth. It's just a shame that it is not taken care of. Now again, I can keep going on the street, but that street descends a lot, and it means I would have to walk back uphill. I didn't want to do that. Kind of cross. Wanted to look at this house, building, whatever it is. Again, this is how things in Trinidad are. You know, you have this court, and then right next to it, a building or a structure that just is dilapidated and not taken care of. And even the police station is right next to it. But I guess there's a health concern, and the authorities that be needs to enforce how these places are taken care of. So we're going in the other direction, and as I do so, I kind of pan around just to give you a relative idea of where I am. Looks like that vehicle got burnt to a crisp. Now, in case you've seen trash on the road like that, that's because the garbage truck was coming around. We normally put it out like that. And yeah, there's some trash here and there, but seriously, still more clean than it is in Port of Spain. That's to tell you how bad it is up north. All these vehicles that are parked up here, these are taxis. You can recognize a taxi by the license plate. It has an H, starts with an H. So even though they're, unlike other places where they have designated colors and looks, here anybody that registers on their vehicle and passes a certain inspection can have an H license for hire. They don't have to change the colors of their vehicle or anything like that. Now this street heads to the market, and right now, because of all the flooding, the way economy is and stuff, veggies are high. And as a vegan, paying a lot of money for veggies is kind of ridiculous, because that really is supposed to be a, you know, something cheap. In fact, everything is really high right now. So even though you may see people shopping, I don't know if they are shopping in an extravagant manner. It might be that they're just buying what they need, maybe a gift for the most important people in their lives, and then they're going. They're not sticking around. But funny enough, when I went to the fruit and veggie market, there weren't many people there. And now, again, that might be why. That side there, the orange building, that's designated for sellers of vegetables, which is unique. And this side here, which is more open, is designated for sellers of fruits. And I'm going to sort of go in a bit so you can get an idea of what the market is like. And you can see lots of apples. Apples don't grow in Trinidad, these are imported. And if you see the camera kind of tilted at an angle, that's because I'm conversing with the sellers about what they're selling, prices and stuff. I'm not really concentrating on recording, but you know, that's the raw stuff of JB's Man Cave. I show you the raw, right? Just as it is. So, funny enough, although that side is designated for fruits, that person I bought from was selling vegetables, so I bought some from him. Actually, I don't think I bought fruits today. I was concentrating more on the vegetables because vegetables are so expensive. Imagine a pound of cucumbers is like 12 to 14 TT dollars, which is about around almost $2 US for just 1 pound of cucumbers. That's how expensive things are now. And I can remember just before the pandemic, cucumbers you could get as cheap as $1 TT, which is somebody with loud music is passing by. Very annoying. I could remember when, before the pandemic, I could pay $1 a pound for cucumbers, and that's TT, so you're talking about what, 15 cents US, 1 pound. Now you have to be like $2 US for that same pound. And usually when I go to get my veggies, I tend to get it according to what's cheap on that day, because sometimes the same vegetable might be one price on one day and another price on the next day. You recognize any of those veggies? I was just buying from another vendor about selling there. She was asking me about JB's Man Cave, so I had to kind of cut the video. I don't record focus on people unless I specifically ask them for permission or they give me permission to do that, and I really didn't. And I don't believe in recording people anonymously either, you know. Just, you know, they're talking and the video camera is just rolling and picking them up and stuff. I mean, you wouldn't want somebody to do that to you, right? The guy in the cart is actually somebody that I just bought from when I went to the fruit section, and it seems like he was getting his cart ready for the road. And that's what sometimes you have to do. You're selling both in the market itself, and then you go out there and sell on the road. And it's really good to do that when you have help. You could put somebody to sell in your stall and also go out on the road, so you're selling in multiple locations. It's tough work, but people gotta do what they gotta do. Just like me, recording this for you guys in the hot Caribbean sun. Now you might think holding a extension rod on a camera is easy, but try doing it for an hour or more without stop. You'll feel your stomach muscles begin to cramp and your arms get really tired, because you know there isn't really something that you do during your normal process of life where you're just holding something up constantly, you know, so your stomach muscles are working overtime, so it's a good workout. That place with the S on it on the right, that's called Standards. They sell furniture. Of course, you might recognize some of these other names like Payless. Yep, we have them here too. A lot of places that you may see in North America, you'll also see them here. Same products as well. Very Trinidad and Tobago is very much influenced by the North American culture and products. So while we have our own culture, People here crave foreign goods. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually heading back to Charlotte Street. That's where I parked my vehicle. These people on the right here, that's wearing a hat, they're traffic wardens. That's how they're dressed. Maybe you haven't seen that before if you haven't been to Trinidad in a while. Traffic wardens was something introduced some years ago as a help or assistance to the police. So the police could be more worried about criminals and less worried about traffic. And to me, it's a great initiative. My only problem with this is I don't see enough of them. You only see traffic wardens like busy areas like this and maybe certain hours of the day, but for me traffic wardens should be around all the time and in more than just busy places, because there are certain spots where traffic gets really congested or where people tend to drive bad or something like that, and to me there should be traffic wardens there. I don't know how they are paid, if it's that the government can't afford to pay a whole bunch of them, but to me it's a great way for people to earn an income, to bring tax revenue through ticketing as well for offenders, and also to help or assist with the free flow of traffic, because as you may have seen from my crazy driving videos, people here just drive anyhow and do crazy stuff, and they need somebody to actually tell them where to go. One of the new things that I also see, as for instance when we're passing in the right some tents, is that stores, I mean, you have things within a store and you would have to enter the store, but what a lot of people do now is they set a tent outside the store and then bring all the stuff on the outside to sell, so while you're driving by you can see it, because when something is indoors you can't see what it looks like, right? So it's a good way of attracting more buyers and getting more business, but at the same time it kind of cuts out where you can park. So I ended there when I reached Charlotte Street, and this is another part of Princestown. This is on the side where the fire station and library is. We actually stopped there by Wizards. I don't know if you could see it, it's a roti shop. And I really, to be honest, do not buy a lot of outside food. I prefer to eat my own food home. Sometimes I'm worried about the process of making it, the hygiene and different things, different elements where you lack control when you buy outside food, because you're putting this stuff into you and there's not much control on what went into the cooking process or the food's quality itself. Anyway, on this day I needed to eat something, so a fellow citizen of the area told me that I should try Wizards. I had actually tried a couple places in Princestown proper and wasn't too happy with what I saw. There seemed to be a concentration on meat. I can't understand that going into a curry place and all you see is meat and then just potato. I mean, as a veggie, I just don't get that. What's going on in Princestown with regards to curry? So anyway, I came to Wizards and I got a little more as far as a variety of vegetables in my roti, but I don't know, I would say it was okay. Sorry, it wasn't that great. At least I didn't get sick and I'm still here. The service was good though. But that's just me. I kind of biased because I just don't like buying outside food. And when I do have a place where I buy outside food, it's usually a designated place. I don't like rolling dice with new places, especially with something like curry, which everybody has a different way to make it, season it, and so forth. So it's it's not like buying fries where no matter where you go, fries normally taste more or less the same. So there were these two places here on your right were also places that sell roti. Interesting that those two places were side by side and were different businesses selling roti, and we didn't stop there. So my mission here right now is mainly just to show you the library and the fire station, which would probably act as a landmark for a lot of you. Remember it, and you can tell me if it still looks the same. Do you see that old house across the street there too? That, I just love the look of that. On the way back I do record it, slow down and take a good look at it. If you know the purpose of it, you can always again let me know in the comments area. Please let me know what you're talking about by signaling the part of the video that you're referring to. So that's actually the library you're looking at, those two towers, and that there where the flag is flying is actually the fire station. Now you can see the tower of the mosque in the background. That's the mosque where we were recording earlier in the start of the video. So that will give you a gist of where I am located, or where it is relative to where I am at this point. That's why I'm not going to walk any further, because I've already been more or less down on that side. So there it is, that's the fire station. It looks like it has a new roof, replacing the old roof, or at least covering the old roof. That's our flag there. And that road on your right, that would actually take you to Charlotte Street if you wanted. You would drive down here, and then you would take another right at a certain point, and that would give you parking if you couldn't find parking in the parking lots. And the library there is kind of strange, the look of the building, but that's the library. If the sign wasn't there to say that's a library, I wouldn't have never thought that was a library. And this house coming up on your right, quite interesting. This is what Caribbean houses looked like long ago. When I say long ago, maybe 50 years ago or more. You'd see more houses like that. Not now, they're coming less and less and less, and something really should be done to try and preserve most of these houses. There's a guy there painting. See some of these derelict buildings that are here, and you'd be surprised somebody actually living in that. Now this section here, this piece of road actually acts like a triangle too. Take it to different locations. And this would be the more quiet, if you want to call it that, part of Princess Town. When I say quiet, as far as business places or business or merchandising goes. So only when you get back onto the main road, that's when you start to get more of that hustle and bustle. Another example of a place that should be brought up for cleanup. It's always interesting to me how in the south, where they build places on the side of a hill, a lot of them don't have a choice, but it's kind of strange to see the road higher than the house. It's not something that you see too much up north. Normally when the house is set on a incline or decline, it's on a mountain. But it's, you know, the south is very hilly, so you see a lot of that. But it's kind of scary to me because the way it is, the way the land is, it shifts a lot. So you really have to know what you're doing and how you're building around here. The place opposite, they sell parts from wrecked vehicles. That's a big industry here. So I hope you enjoyed this tour of Princess Town. If you lived in Princess Town once before or haven't been here for years, please let me know what you thought of it. If it brought back memories, if it was worth the time that you spent on JB's Man Cave. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure to subscribe. Let your friends know all about what we do here. Please like, share, and most of all, keep my videos on YouTube. Don't try to sell it elsewhere. Thanks so much for watching.